Oh, hey guys, scared me. Woo! So, today's going to be a very special video. We're going to be doing a collaboration video with NES Addict. He's a really nice guy, really great guy. His videos are awesome. You guys need to check out his content. Subscribe to him. He's a great YouTuber. You guys need to check it out. His content is spot on. So today, we are going to do a special video about the Super Nintendo system and our top 5 favorite Super Nintendo games of all time. Now my list is going to be completely different than his and vice versa. And he explains why and I explain why too. Why we love these games, why these games are so good. Now he's more of an NES guy and I'm more of a just all-around guy. But if I had to say my #1 system of all time, it'd be this, the Super NES. Wait, how do you guys say it? Is it SNES or SNES? How do you guys say it? Tell me down in the comments below. And do you get mad when somebody says it one way or the other? I mean, I just called it the Super Nintendo back in the day, the SNES. I know that's what I called it. I started calling it SNES once YouTube started popping around. But anyway, I digress. So you guys know that I have a deep love for Super Nintendo. I mean, I bought the stupid console box. I did an unboxing of it. The box itself is probably the best thing. I mean, it does a really good job. You know, and you know what, guys, I waited 8 hours in line for this old thing, the Super NES Classic Edition. I love this thing. This looks great in the collection. I love it. I love the box. A great choice of games. Save 1 or 2. But you guys know how I feel about this thing. And then you all know that I have this complete in box. I have roughly 300 games or so, close to it, maybe a little over. I haven't counted in a while. I have close to about 500 NES games. So yeah, I do love the Super Nintendo. I don't own as many as I own on the NES, but that doesn't matter. I played a lot of these games growing up. A lot of nostalgia for this. And there's a lot of great games. A lot of great games. I'm more of an RPG fan. The Super NES introduced me to a lot of great series. Final Fantasy, played my first Zelda, Chrono Trigger, I'll get to that. And Super Mario World, you name it. Sim City was great, Pilot Wings, F-Zero, you name it. On and on and on. Super Bases Loaded. There's tons and tons and tons of great games on there. And there's so good. So good. So guys, we're going to get right into it. I'm going to let the NES Addict go first. You guys get to check out his list. And what we want you to do is compare our list. Which ones do you think stand up better? Which list is better, my list or his? And you decide. Is it a combination? What do you think? And it will vary. It will vary big time. My tastes are a little bit different than his. And I'm not saying his list isn't good, because the games on his list are awesome. They are excellent. And in my opinion, so are my games. But I'm biased. So guys, check out to see what NES Addict has to say. Thanks for watching, guys.
Hey guys, NES Addict here. Retro Tony and I thought it would be fun to do a collab video to talk about our 5 top Super Nintendo games and compare and see how they match up. All that and more next. Number 5, Super Mario World. Super Mario World was the game that made me want a Super Nintendo. It was the game that I first played and my mind was blown the minute I found Yoshi and learned I could now ride a dinosaur. Yoshi and I made our way through all 96 deliciously named levels along with the Radical Star Road to defeat Bowser, making this the first game I ever beat. I love this game, and it is what caused me to lean towards the Super NES over the Sonic-driven Sega Genesis during the 16-bit wars. And that is why Super Mario World is number 5 on my list. Number 4. Turtles in Time. Ninja Turtles were a staple in my childhood in the late 80s and early 90s. The Turtles took kids by storm, and I was caught up in the hype. After being severely disappointed in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for the Nintendo, which I have now grown to love and appreciate fully, Turtles in Time made me feel that the Ninja Turtles were represented the way I envisioned them. When this game came to the SNES, I was excited to play it. As a kid, I sadly never asked for it for Christmas. But in 2003, I found it for $14.99 in a game store and quickly bought it. And thank God I did, because boy has it increased in price. I love this beat 'em up and can't get enough of destroying foot soldiers and the rest of Shredder's game. And that is why Turtles in Time is number 4 on my list. Number 3. The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. As a kid, I didn't appreciate the original Legend of Zelda because of its overhead view and my childish interpretation of that equating to the game having bad graphics. So by the time A Link to the Past came out, I had zero interest in the game. I wandered around the reinvented Hyrule briefly at a cousin's house one Christmas vacation. As an adult, I made sure to rectify both of these gaming travesties. I learned to love Link, Hyrule lore, exploring dungeons, finding the Master Sword, and finally defeating Ganon. And this is why A Link to the Past is number 3 on my list. Number 2. Super Metroid. Playing the first Metroid prior to Super Metroid severely increased my appreciation of this masterpiece. Much like how The Legend of Zelda was perfected in A Link to the Past, Super Metroid takes all of the great things in Metroid and vastly improves upon it with maps, more upgrades, as well as improved graphics and soundscapes that give Planet Zebes the feeling of being alive. Samus is a joy to control, even while wall jumping, and with each upgrade she is transformed into a force to be reckoned with, fully prepared to take on Kraid, Ridley, and Mother Brain. And that is why Super Metroid is number 2 on my list. Number 1. Super Castlevania 4. After playing and beating all 3 Castlevania games on the NES, I was ready to experience Castlevania in 16-bit graphics. My expectations were high, and after I finally popped in Super Castlevania 4, I was, underwhelmed. I think I just wanted Castlevania 1 in 16-bit graphics, and the new take on the Castlevania series drifted too far from the original game for my closed-minded inner fanboy. But after giving this game a fair chance, I learned that this game was closer to the source material than I gave it credit for. And it actually expanded and perfected what I loved about Castlevania 1. With its beautiful soundtrack ringing in my ears, improved and perfected controls, and uniquely crafted levels, Super Castlevania has earned the number 1 spot on my list of Super NES games. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed my top 5 SNES games. I'm curious to see how they rank with Tony's, but Retro Tony, thank you so much for inviting me to do this collab video, and until next time guys, and as always, take care.
Okay guys, I'm actually using this thing. This came in the Super NES console box. I actually really love this thing. It's small, but it is really, really cool. And my top 5 games are in here. So let's get on to number 5, shall we? So coming in at number 5 on my all-time favorite Super NES games of all time, Kirby's Superstar. Man. I'm going to tell you why. Whenever I went through the Super NES Classic reviews, which I did in the fall, this was the one game, besides like Zelda or Mario, that I could not stop playing. I wanted to keep filming footage. I wanted to keep playing this game. I mean, back in the day, I could not put this game down. This game is a ton of fun. And let me tell you why. There's a lot of content. There's a ton of content in here. This says 8 games in 1. Yes, there's many games. Check out my review of this on my channel. I do a pretty good review. And I just can't stop playing. And I'm like, I'm running out of things to say on my channel about it. But it's so good, I just want to keep playing and show you guys more and more. So, it is a ton of fun. The mini games, the main games are a lot of fun. The 2-player co-op, my lord, that is some fun there. And that's why I had so much fun with it back in the day, is my buddy Eric and I, we would just stay up all night playing the living crap out of this game. And so good. My favorite Kirby game of all time, by the way. So yeah, that's my number 5, guys. On to number 4. Number 4, this is a doozy. Super Mario World! Man, again, that's my favorite Kirby game of all time. This is my favorite Mario game of all time. Hands down. Best 2D Mario game of all time. Best Mario game of all time. Period. Okay? I love Mario Odyssey. It is a great game. I love Mario 64. Awesome game. I even like Super Mario Sunshine. But to me, this is Mario. Mario 3 even. This is over Mario 3. Guys, there's a ton of levels here. Yoshi, he's awesome. The 2-player, again, co-op is great. I love the level design. I love just the stages. I love fighting Bowser. I love it. The music is phenomenal. I can listen to it any day of the week. My kids in my classroom immediately know, hey, that's Super Mario World. So I love this game. I cannot sing enough praises about this. Again, I did a review of this on my channel. You guys should go check it out. So that's my number 4, guys. On to number 3. Coming in at number 3, this is a huge hitter. This is probably my second favorite Final Fantasy, if not tied with first. It depends on how I'm feeling that day. But Final Fantasy 3/6, and I have a complete box. This is the same box that I would pick up as a kid to rent this game. This is the same game I rented as a kid, same box I would take up to the counter to rent it. So anyway, enough about that. So why is this game so good? Why is it my number 3? The characters. The characters are amazing. I love Terra, Celis, Locke, Sabin, Edgar, Shadow, Setzer, Mog, Realm, Strago, Umar, however you say his name, Gayu, all of them. Okay, I know I'm probably Go-Go. I love all of them. I love it. There's a huge cast of characters. I love that there's, now you can make an argument that Terra is the main character, which you could make and say, but there really isn't a main character. They all are the main character. Kefka, the main villain. I love Kefka. And basically how Kefka rises up, spoiler alert, rises up through the Empire and takes over the world and destroys the world. I love the world of balance, the world of ruin. I love the magic system. I love just the battle system is straightforward, easy to master. And this is just, if you want a medium RPG that you've never really played RPGs, JRPGs, and you want a game to kind of introduce you to the genre, this is the game to introduce you. Okay, this game, man, when I played this as a kid, I'd call my good buddy Mitch up, and we'd have a lot of conversations every single day about, like, hey man, because he actually beat it before I did, like, you're gonna have to help me get to, the top of Kefka's tower and all this, and where can I find the Ultima Magicite and all that stuff, the magic, I should say. I love the weapons, the music, the music is so good. So good, guys. I did a review of this. You guys need to check it out. This is the best 2D Final Fantasy. Not the best 2D RPG of all time. That's safe for one particular game coming up in my list. So that's number 3, guys. On to number 2. Number 2. This is a doozy too. These are all big hitters. Big hitters. A Link to the Past. Do I even need to say more? I mean, come on. This game is amazing. This game is Zelda to me. This was the first Zelda game I ever played growing up. This is the first kind of fantasy. It's not an RPG, I know, but first RPG that really got me interested in the genre. I played this game before, and this is crazy. Okay, I played this game before I got into Star Wars. Okay, Star Wars was kind of before the special editions came out. I played this game before Final Fantasy. I played this game before watching Lord of the Rings or reading any of the books. So, to me, this really shaped me as a gamer. And as a fan of fantasy, and I'm not going to say sci-fi, but, just kind of fantasy as a whole. And, guys, the gameplay is phenomenal. The gameplay is phenomenal. The story, there's just enough there to keep you hooked. It's amazing. Okay, I love the dungeons. I love, you get the Master Sword, you get the shield, and you get all these upgrades, all the weapons. And there's just a lot of content here. Okay, this is my favorite Zelda game. And you're seeing a lot of correlation here. A lot of these games are my favorite all time in whatever series they're in. Okay, and that says a lot for the Super Nintendo and how great of a system it is. Just how powerful it was and how it still to this day shapes gaming. And Link, you need to play A Link Between Worlds. I recommend that. And then playing this. You can find this game anywhere. Okay, it's on the Super NES Classic Edition. A lot of these games are on the Super NES Classic Edition. And guys, check out my review of this. I said this before, again and again and again, but check it out. So that's my number 2, guys. I can't say enough about Zelda. Link to the Past, guys. Great game. On to my number 1, and you shouldn't be surprised at all what it is. Alright, on to number 1, guys. Okay, guys. Coming in at number 1. And if you watch my channel at all, if you know me at all, this is no surprise. This is my favorite game of all time. My favorite RPG of all time. My favorite Super Nintendo game of all time. You can even say my favorite DS game of all time, I guess. Chrono Trigger! Chrono freaking Trigger! Squaresoft Classic, guys. I have a complete box. This is one of my treasures in my collection. I need to get this complete in box, but I have the Japanese version of it. And guys, I cannot say enough. I played this game at the right time. I played this before Final Fantasy VII came out. I played it right after playing Final Fantasy 2/4, and then Final Fantasy 3/6, and Zelda. And I was like, man, I was searching out for RPGs on the Super NES. Lufia 2, Breath of Fire 1 and 2, and just a ton of other games. You know, Soul Blazer. Well, what else? Illusion of Gaia. You know, games like that. I was just searching them out. And I finally, you know, my buddy Dwight, he introduced this to me, and I was just blown away. Blown away by the story, blown away by the characters, and I love the time travel aspect. The time traveling alone was probably just enough of a sell for me, because at the time I was getting into Back to the Future, more Back to the Future 1, 2, and 3, and just who doesn't like time travel? And just the possibilities in a video game. I love the multiple endings, the New Game Plus. This was the first game to have New Game Plus, and I love the Epoch. You can fly around in the Epoch, and the main character dies. He dies, and what do? You can bring him back, of course. We all know that, but it was just amazing. You were attached to these characters. You were in love with these characters. The artwork was phenomenal. The gameplay phenomenal. The music phenomenal. And yeah, it's not the hardest RPG out there, but that doesn't matter. If it's a great game, it's a great game. If it tells a really good story, to me, that's all that matters. And man, this is my number one, guys. I need to do a full review of this someday, and I will. For a special video, I will. So guys, yes. That's it. It's my top 5. Do you guys agree? What do you guys think of NES Addict's list compared to mine? Am I a little too RPG heavy, fantasy heavy? And let me know. Let me know what your top 5 Super Nintendo games are of all time. And do you agree? Do you think this is one of the greatest games of all time? One of the greatest Super Nintendo games of all time? Leave a comment down below. Alright guys. Well, really appreciate you guys viewing and checking out this video that we did together. And again, subscribe to him and subscribe to me if you haven't already. Thanks for watching. And have a great rest of your day.